guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name's Danny and we are kind of going on this infertility journey together. I have been bringing you guys with me this whole year so far as my husband and I go through fertility treatments and kind of go through this whole infertility journey together. And if you're not new to my channel, you kind of know the struggle that we've been going through lately, and I'm gonna warn you, if you really don't want to hear my sob fest today, then you might not want to watch this video. Honestly, guys, I just kind of need someone to talk to, and yes, I have family and friends and obviously my husband, but sometimes, oh, if you don't know, this is Charlie. This is our, I don't know if you can see him in the picture, but if you do see a little dog running around in the background, it's our new puppy, Charlie, that my husband got me for my birthday. So you may see him running around, so don't mind him. He's probably just chewing on something. Hopefully he's not peeing somewhere, because that's been a challenge. But, oh, and I look terrible today, y'all. I'm sorry. I've kind of just had an emotional couple days, and I'm just, like, not feeling the whole makeup and hair thing. So, but anyways, back to my sob fest. So, I don't know, guys. I've just kind of been really down in the dumps, like, this whole past week, and trying so hard, as you guys know in the past, like I always try to stay so positive throughout this whole infertility journey, but y'all, it's just not happening this week because in less than a day, I will be turning 30 years old. Yes, the big 30, dirty 30, whatever you want to call it, that's this girl in about a day and a half. So, and y'all, and I'm sure some of y'all are like, shut up, Danny, you're only 30, you're still so young. And yes, 30 is still young. I'm not saying that like my life is over because I'm 30. What I've been struggling with is I'm about to be 30 with no children. That's the struggle that I'm having, because we all have different goals for our lives. We all have different plans for our lives. And one of my huge goals was to have at least 1 or 2 kids by now, by 30 years old. And the fact that I don't have a child, or even am pregnant or anything, and I'm about to be 30, it's just kind of really taken a toll on me because, you know, I've been kind of telling my mom yesterday, we went out to dinner for like an early birthday celebration, and yes, there was margaritas there, so you know, when we get a little alcohol, you get even more emotional. So, you know, she was just saying how she had me when she was 25. And I think back when I was 25 and I was marrying Michael. That's when him and I got married. And I tell you what, guys, day 1 of our marriage, the day of our wedding, we were both like, let's get this baby making thing started. Because we both really, even 5 years ago, back then, you know, we really wanted children. And but like, what I'm trying to say is I never ever imagined that I would have a problem getting pregnant. You know, it's like you just don't imagine that. So you don't imagine that for yourself. No one does, you know. So, and you know, 5 years later, y'all, 5 years. I'm now 30 years old, and we are nowhere near closer to our dream than we were 5 years ago. And it's just really been like hitting me, you know, because it's just like, no, 5 years is not forever, but 5 years is a long time to desperately want something that you can't have, or that you don't know when you're gonna have, you know. And last night was rough, y'all. I just like could not go to sleep. I basically just like cried myself to sleep. And you know, if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God, and, you know, I believe in Jesus, and, you know, that he died for our sins, and that he's our savior. So, and, you know, I'm just talking to him last night, you know, as I'm trying to go to sleep, and I'm like, you know, I'm like, to the point, like, I was like, to the point, I was crying so much that I was like, God, just, maybe you need to just take this desire from me. Like, just take it from me. Like, I don't want this pain anymore of like wanting something so bad that you just can't have, or for whatever reason is not happening. Like, I was just over and over again, I'm just like, please, Lord, take this desire from my heart, because I don't know if I can deal with the pain of just not having it. And honestly, guys, last night, as I was praying and crying, over and over again, I just kept hearing his conviction, like, stop. Like, stop leaning on other people. Stop leaning on your own understanding. Stop leaning on these worldly things that you have no control over, and just focus on me, your Father, your Heavenly Father. And, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not been doing what I need to do spiritually in my relationship with Jesus. I have not been reading the Word like I should. I have not been praying as much as I should. I've not been strengthening my relationship with God as much as I should be, as we should do daily in our Christian walk, with Christ. And I can only blame myself for that. And that's probably why I have a lot of this heartache, because I'm not strengthening my relationship with Him. So, not to get all religious on you, but, it's probably exactly why I feel the way I do. So, hopefully I can do better and strengthen that relationship and maybe let go of some of this infertility stuff. Because, honestly, guys, as much control as we think we may have on our fertility and our infertility and the treatments that we go through, we have no control. That's my belief. You may have your own beliefs, and that's cool. I totally respect your beliefs, but as far as I'm concerned, I know personally that I have absolutely no control over my future or what God has planned for me, and I'm okay with that. But I'm human, and I still try to control everything that I can when I can, but I have to kind of step back and relinquish that control every once in a while. I'm like, oh, okay, God, so sorry that I'm trying to control this situation because I really shouldn't be. Only you should be. So here you go, passing the baton back to you. Take control, even though I never had the baton. We never have the baton. We think we have the baton of control, but we don't, guys. But I just don't know what to do, y'all. So I'm just kind of just venting to you, just trying to figure out kind of the next steps in our infertility journey. Like I said, we will go ahead and do IUI number 5 because that's something that Michael is very passionate about. And, all I can think in the back of my mind is, Lord, maybe you put this desire in Michael's heart for a reason, for him to push me to do IUI number 5 when I really don't want to do IUI number 5. Maybe God is speaking to Michael in a different way, saying, encourage your wife, and don't let her not do this, because maybe God has a bigger plan for us, and maybe IUI number 5 will work. And I'm just being Debbie Downer right now, thinking that it's not going to work because the other 4.5 haven't. So maybe God has got a different plan, and I'm just kind of just being emotional and depressed for no reason. And I hope that that's the case. I do. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, I really don't want to do IUI number 5, but I've got to pray and dig deep in my soul and really lean on God and try to stay positive, because right now I'm just not in a positive place, so. Oh, it's like celebrating your life, when you turn a year older, you should be celebrating the life that you have, and I am, and I'm so thankful for the 30 years that God has given me and what He's given me in those 30 years. And I just have to focus on that. But I'm going to tell you, it's hard. It's so hard. And trust me, guys, I don't want to, but you can't help but ask yourself, like, why? Why is this so hard for me and Michael? Like, why is this so hard for us? I just don't believe these IUIs are working for us, and I honestly think the only way for us to better our chances of getting pregnant is through IVF, in vitro fertilization. So we're kind of trying to think ahead, like, how are we going to afford this $15,000, $20,000 procedure to do IVF? And guys, just every door has been slammed in our face. Like, everything that we have tried to do to somehow come up with this money to get this IVF process going has just been dead end after dead end. How are we going to afford making it happen? Because that's a whole nother thing that I've been struggling with too, is, you know, Michael and I, if you don't know this, guys, I mean, I kind of get a little personal here with you, but Michael and I made the decision to basically move out of our home, allow our parents to move in our home, and we went over the road as truck drivers to kind of dig ourselves out of debt that we had gotten into, because the 3 years prior to us going on the road, we had made some bad decisions financially, but we had also built a brand new home from the ground up, used all of our savings, didn't have any savings left in our account, and kind of got in trouble with credit cards, because when you have a new house, you want everything new for your new house, you know, so we kind of got into trouble with debt, and so we decided to go over the road as truck drivers. I know that's kind of hard to believe, to basically make as much money as possible to kind of dig ourselves out of debt, because also we had spent a lot of money on fertility treatments over those 3 years, and that kind of got us into a lot of debt along with everything else. So fast forward to 2017, February, we came off the road. We both were so blessed to get really good jobs coming off the road. Michael is making more money than he's ever made at a job. So we are in a better place financially, but we still haven't been able to really rebuild our savings account, because as soon as we got off the road, you know, we were like, bam, back into fertility treatments. So all of our extra money's been going into fertility and, you know, getting ourselves reacclimated to being back home, you know, moving back into our home, our parents moving out. And, you know, so we really haven't had the opportunity. It's only been February, so it's only been 6 months to really like rebuild our savings account. So if you guys don't know, once again, if you're new to my channel, we've done 4 IUIs, attempted 5, but we haven't completed IUI number 5, which is intrauterine insemination. So we are working on doing IUI number 5, hopefully this month. It didn't work out last month because Hurricane Irma just messed everything up, and we weren't able to actually follow through with IUI number 5 last month as was planned. So we lost about $450, almost probably $500, really, if you think about all of it. We lost $500 last month. It didn't even get to do IUI number 5 because of the hurricane, and the hurricane had closed down all the offices. So I was wasting money. But what I'm trying to get at with the finances is we haven't had the opportunity to rebuild our savings account. And our credit, guys, I'm just going to be transparent, our credit isn't the greatest. Are we rebuilding our credit? Is it getting better? Of course, you know, slowly, but it just takes time. So we yesterday tried to basically get like a refinancing home loan, kind of like a loan backed up by our house, because we do own our home, and we got denied because of our credit. And I've also applied for different infertility loans, and we've been denied for those infertility loans. Sorry, that's my dog and his toy. Squeak, squeak. So I've applied for a couple infertility loans that we've been denied for. Obviously yesterday we kind of had all of our eggs in the basket when we were applying for this housing, kind of like, I don't know the guys, I'm not good with finances. My husband knows all the terminology, but it's basically like a loan that's backed by your house and all that. And we kind of had all of our eggs in that basket, because when we talked to the guy the first time, he was like, oh yeah, we can make this happen. And we're like, even with our credit, you know, and all that. And he was like, yeah, I think we can. You know, it won't be a large amount. You know, maybe if it's even just $10,000 just to kind of get you guys started with your IVF, because that's what I want to do. And I think that's what we're going to have to end up doing is IVF. And I just have no idea how I'm going to afford it. You know, obviously I've looked into, you know, applying for IVF grants, and a couple of the timelines for those have already kind of passed, so I have to kind of wait till next year to apply for a lot of those grants anyways, and there's not that many for Florida. There's a couple international ones that I'm gonna apply for, but it's just kind of like, you know, you try so hard not to lose hope, and you try so hard not to be negative, but guys, it's like, I don't know if it's just because I'm in a bad mood or because I'm just in kind of like a depressed mood, but like I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like all I see is obstacle after obstacle. Like, how are we going to pay for this? And how are we, you know, going to do that? And then obviously in the back of my mind, by the grace of God, if we come up with the $15,000 to start the IVF process, What if it doesn't work, guys? You talk about complete devastation. Like, oh my gosh, like, you thought I was upset when the IUI didn't work. Like, if the IVF doesn't work and I just spent $15,000 or more, I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. Like, I know there's so many more of you out there that are going through the same thing, so you can completely relate to me. And that's comforting to know that I'm not alone in this, because I know I'm not. And I know that I'm so blessed and so lucky to have what I do have. And, you know, a friend of mine, she was like, Danny, just focus on the blessings in your life. And, you know, I really do feel so grateful for all the many blessings in my life. And I don't want y'all to think that I'm not grateful. It's just a constant kind of ache in your heart that you just can't quite get rid of, because, you know, it's kind of just always there. And you want so much to be happy for other people when you see that they're pregnant or that they're having a baby. And I am genuinely happy for those people. But you can't also help not to be a little bit heartbroken at the same time when you see them so happy. And you're happy for them and you're happy with them. And I really truly am. I don't want y'all to think that I'm just some like horrible selfish person, because I genuinely love my friends and family, and I genuinely love when they get the blessing of a child, because anyone mother and for a family, I just think a child is just one of the biggest blessings that anyone could ever get. And I share in that joy with my friends and family when they, you know, experience that. But you just can't help but, you know, kind of look up at God like, hey, thanks for that blessing, but like, can I get one? You know, like, I don't know. It's like, can I get that blessing too? Like, please, can I get that blessing, you know? And so, you know, when I came back in February, I was like, okay, you know, Lord, let's get this process going again. Let's try to get this baby Megan thing going. And, you know, very excited and very pumped up. And I know we're only, you know, 6-7 months into it, but it's just kind of like, I just can't help but feel discouraged, you know, and I can't help but feel down in the dumps. And so pray for me, guys, send me good vibes. And I am so sorry that this is such a sob fest of a video. Like, I'm so sorry. But, you know, honestly, like, I can tell my husband and my friends stuff, and, you know, like, they're trying to be supportive, but they're kind of like, okay, Danny, enough is enough. Like, stop being so down about things. But so having this outlet to be able to talk to you guys just helps me kind of get it all off my chest. And I know that, you know, I can do that with you guys. Goes moving forward. I did start my period this morning. So don't judge me, guys. You're probably like, oh, that's why you're so emotional, because you started your period. Like, shut up, okay? Yes, it probably has a lot to do with it, but I've still been down in the dumps this whole week, approaching my 30th birthday. So today is day 1 of my cycle, so I will be contacting my fertility clinic today to let them know that today is day 1 of my cycle, and I will probably go in day 3 or 4 to do an ultrasound to check my lining and to make sure that there's no cysts on my ovaries, and we will go ahead and restart IUI number 5 for the 3rd time, I think, because back in 2015 we tried to do IUI number 5, it didn't work out. Last month we tried to do IUI number 5. It did not work out because of the hurricane. So this is our 3rd attempt at trying IUI number 5. So maybe 3rd time is the charm, guys. And maybe God's making IUI number 5 really hard, because he has something really big planned for us at the end of IUI number 5. And that is my biggest hope and my biggest prayer. And I just have to pray for strength and positivity and just lean on God and not on my own understanding, and, you know that he has plans that I will never understand, and I just have to trust in his plan and trust in his word. And thank you guys again so much for listening. Like this video, maybe, please. I know it's like I said, it was such a negative Nancy down in the dumps video, but thanks for listening. And if you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And I will let you guys know how the ultrasound goes on day 3 or 4 of my cycle. That should be sometime next week. And it'll be after my 30th birthday. So I'll officially be 30 starting IUI number 5. And we will just hope for the best and see what happens. So I will take you guys with me to that appointment, and I'll see you then. Bye.